Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Sunday, the 3rd of July, day 123. It was a long night last night. It was a little too cold on the cold spots for me. Had to do a lot of moving around to try and keep warm. Definitely need to get a summer kind of short underquilt for my hammock. Uh, Maybe like a 40 degree probably would do it. I think Jacks are better makes one. I need to look into it. But oh man, yeah, it was the old inflatable pad was not working real well inside the hammock. I know I wasn't going to try it last night, but it only lasted about a half hour, and I got to do something. Uh, Started raining sometime in the middle of the night. I know I got up about 4:30 and took a look at the weather radar. Had a signal, so could do some data and check the weather radar, and we've just bands were coming through. That wasn't supposed to happen until tomorrow. So, and it's also still supposed to happen to tomorrow according to the new forecast. So we got an extra day of rain out of this. So it's 11 o'clock now. I've only been hiking about a half hour. It took that long for things to settle down so we could kind of get things packed up. Packs waterlogged. The tarps got probably an extra pound to it. It felt like when I picked it up. So I mean, it felt like about a 2.5 pound package when normally it's I think it's 14 ounces is all it is. So anyway, a little extra weight, and because it's I didn't want it to get the water inside my compactor bag. Then all the lighter stuff is really at the bottom, and the heavier stuff's at the top. So I'm kind of feeling it in my shoulders today. So I've only got a 10.5 to go to get to the next shelter, but it's going to take all my daylight to do that since I got such a late start today. So don't know how much videoing I'm going to be able to do because I need to concentrate on hiking, but if I get a chance to see something, I'll share it with you. In the meantime, let's go hike on, and you guys enjoy your Sunday. Bye. Well, this would not be a good spot to have the earth have a little tremor as I'm walking down the trail, because there's a lot of heavy rocks up there. Man, that would hurt and be deadly. They had a sign that says no off-trail use for the next 300 yards, so they probably have had problems with people trying to climb up and scramble up those things and dislodging a boulder. So and getting hurt, because we do live in a nanny state after all. I think way up there, it's a big rock pile. Took some earth movement at some point in time to break all that up and dislodge it like that. Wow. I wonder if it was when the St. Madras Fault let loose it's around the time of the Indian Wars in Indiana. The prophet Tecumseh, matter of fact, there in Tippecanoe County, Indiana, where I grew up, there's a rock called Prophet's Rock, where he would get out and prophesy, but he was kind of like, how Moses wasn't really good at speaking, so he had Aaron to help him. Well, he had a brother-in-law that would do the speaking for him, and so he would do some prophesying. And one of the times, hey, how are you doing?
Hi, good morning.
Hey, good morning. One of the times that he was prophesying that the earth would shake, and that would be a time when they'd be able to bring the Indian nations together to do battle against the settlers and push them back. And so he made this prophecy and that prophecy went out to all the Indian tribes, and I think like 10 or like maybe 10 of 20 nations, or maybe 5 of 10 nations, I can't remember, but about half of the nations got there before the earth shook. But Tecumseh was still out getting the rest of them, and the brother-in-law, being full of himself, started making stuff up, and it really ticked off the nations that were there, and they left. And then Tecumseh got there with the other half of the Indian nations, and of course, the others were gone. But then the earth shook, and that's when the St. Madras Fault let loose. And they said if that fault had let loose today, I think it's like 20 million people would be dead. But anyway, so the St. Madras Fault let loose, and Tecumseh took his Indian nations that he had with him to war against the settlers there in Tippecanoe County, to a place called Battleground, and they didn't have enough resources and they were beat back. It's often said that and then of course then when the earth shook, then the other nations that had taken off went, holy crap, it was really true, and they turned around and went back, but it was too late. Now they say that Tecumseh had all of his resources there, they would have been able to push the settlers probably all the way from Indiana back way into Pennsylvania to the eastern edge there. So anyway, that's where we're getting into some fog here. A little bit of cloud walking today, more rocks. Anyway, a little story from Tippecanoe County for you, where I grew up. Can you hear this bird? Now that's a hymn worthy of deity on a Sunday. Thank you, bird. Hey everybody, I am here at the Skyland restaurant dining room. It's just 0.1 west off of the trail, and had a really great salad, some corn chicken chowder soup, and some really wonderful blackberry lemonade. I've never had blackberry lemonade, and I think that's one of my new favorites. Of course, I've never seen it anywhere else, so I don't know how I'm going to enjoy my new favorite. But anyway, yeah, it's a little pricey, about $27 with a tip. So it's definitely one of those. But you know what? I needed the salad. Up here in the clouds today, got the clouds kind of rolling through. You kind of see them just definitely up here in the clouds today. A lot of the tourists are pretty unhappy. They plan to spend the day running along the Skyline Drive and seeing the sights, and they're not seeing it at all today. My goal today was to get down to, or actually get up to, the Bird's Nest number 3 hut. That's not going to happen. I've been in a lot of pain. Matter of fact, it started about Damascus, so I've hiked through most of Virginia in quite a bit of pain. I really wanted to get to Harper's Ferry. Been consulting with my physician back home. The treatment regimen really that I should be doing is being off the trail for about 4 weeks, and the 4 days that I spent in Waynesboro was not enough. So I've made a decision. It's a hard decision to make. It's going to affect my Thru-Hike in that it's not going to be a Thru-Hike probably. Most likely I'm just going to be a long section hike this year, and I'll have to finish it up next year. But that story's not all written yet. What I'm going to do is my daughter is going to bring her 2 children up and come pick me up. Going to turn it into a little vacation for them. They've been missing their papa. So we'll do some things, you know, on the way back, and you know, we may go by Pigeon Forge and you know, just stuff in Chattanooga, and you know, and make it a little vacation for them. They've been having a hard time without their dad, and I will spend 4 weeks recovering. And after that, if everything's good to go, my son will bring me back up, and he and I will hopefully finish hiking the rest of the 1,000 miles up to Harper's Ferry. At that point, it's probably honestly too late for me to, I mean, yes, I could go up and hike Katahdin and start south, but then I'm going to be finishing up, you know, November, December hiking through the Northeast. I don't want to do that, and you know, through that. I don't want to do another winter hike. I did that already. So the chances of me being able to call this and being called a thru hiker now is probably not going to happen. So that's very disappointing. It's one of my life goals is to be a through hiker of the Appalachian Trail. Now I'm gonna hike. Now I'll be able to at least. I think there's a term out here called lasher and slasher. And lasher stands for a long beep section hiker, and slasher is a super long beep section hiker. So I'll probably be a slasher since I did hopefully half the trail this year, and then I'll have to finish it up next year. So it's very disappointing for me. I know it's disappointing for those people that were following me and cheering me on, and you know, I really appreciate all of you and your support. Looking forward to finishing up at least this unofficial half to the Harper's Ferry with my son Brandon. I know he'll enjoy that, and I'll enjoy being able to do that with him. He'd been planning on coming up and hiking with me anyway. I think Jesse was planning on doing a little bit more with me. And who knows, maybe there's some more sections that we can do before the winter settles in, because I really wanted to get up and see Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. So maybe we might be able to get a little piece and parts of that here in the fall with the colors and everything, and then just make it another long section hike next summer to finish it up. But you know, the trail gives you what you need. The trail delivers. You know. Gary, who came and hiked with me for a while, he made a statement that seems like each year the trail determines how much he gets to do, and the trail determined that I do not get to have that title right now as a through hiker, but then I'm just a long section hiker. So what else to say? I don't know. I'm disappointed. Yeah, I'm disappointed. Do I feel like a failure? No. You know, I hiked what, 941 miles, 58 years old. Had a heart attack 4 years ago. Many of you don't know that. I think part of the reason I've struggled with distance is the fact that I'm on a beta blocker because I have a stent in my heart, and the beta blocker limits your heart's activity so that it won't overdo it. Well, when you're climbing a mountain, sometimes you need a little extra oxygen, and the oxygen is delivered by your heart pumping faster, and the beta blocker won't let it do that. So it slows me down on the ascents, and you know. But you know, I thought I could overcome that and just make it a long hike. It'd be the longest through hike in history. Probably take 9 or 10 months to finish. Well, maybe 9 months to finish. But you know, hey. It is what it is, and I did my best. I feel good about that. I'm still looking forward to coming up and getting to Harper's Ferry and hitting that point and doing that with my son. So anyway, the folks from Open Arms Hostel down in Luray are gonna come pick me up, and I'll stay with them until my daughter can come up and pick me up, and we'll go from there. All right, everybody. From the Shenandoah National Park. See you later. Bye.